Police have two new murder investigations on their hands from overnight. One of the murders took place in a Haitian village, the other in an over-the-hill community.
Andrew Knowles provides us with details of the shootings, which pushed the country's homicide count to 46 for the year.
Bright lights, caution tape, a crowd of onlookers, and a lifeless body. Scenes from the country's latest homicide that happened Wednesday night. Crime scene investigators combed the area, searching for clues. Police say the 42-year-old male victim was fatally shot while standing in front of his home on Corder Avenue off East Street.
When the occupants of a silver small vehicle stopped, the passenger got out and fired a shot which struck the victim to the head. The victim started to run and he fell just in the front of his residence.
It would be the second murder in just about 4 hours, as authorities were investigating the shooting of a 21-year-old male in a Haitian community near to Dignity Gardens. The male was reportedly shot to the chest by another man. He later died in hospital.
The details surrounding the circumstances of this matter is unclear at the moment, but we are following some leads, and hopefully we are urging the members of the public who was around in that area at that particular time to come forward and provide us with information as to exactly what took place there.
Now, although authorities were only in the preliminary stages of their investigations, Assistant Commissioner Anthony Ferguson could not say whether the two incidents are connected. They follow Monday's shooting rampage that killed 17-year-old Audric Thurs.May and 40-year-old Amadi Knowles and injured at least 5 others. Police arrested 6 suspects in connection with the incident so far. However, they want to question 21-year-old Cornelius Roberts of Nassau Village and 21-year-old Rashad Clark of Montgomery Avenue, Flamingo Gardens.
And I continue to remind persons, do not harbor persons who commit criminal offenses around you. That in itself could cost you some problems, and we appeal to you to turn these persons in. They're very dangerous. They are armed, and the weapons that they have can cost you your life, so turn them in.
The country's homicide count now stands at 46. Andrew Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Former police officer Tony Sweeting will have to wait a bit longer to find out if she'll be released on bail. Sweeting took her fight to the High Court today after trying unsuccessfully to get bail in the Supreme Court. Fern Carey has more.
During the proceedings, Tony Sweeting's attorney, Jomo Campbell, argued that the 27-year-old mother of one has already spent 1 month at Fox Hill Prison on remand, noting that the lower court judge who denied her bail did not give sufficient weight to the numerous bail conditions that may be attached, such as signing in conditions and surrender of her travel documents. He also argued, among other things, that Sweeting's co-accused were released on bail earlier, noting that too much consideration was given to the alleged statement of a confidential informant who told police that Sweeting had revealed that if granted bail, she would flee the country to Jamaica, where she would be taken care of by her Jamaican co-accused, Conrad Campbell. You may recall that Sweeting, a 33-year-old brother and beauty pageant director, Delano Sweeting, and Jamaican national Conrad Campbell were arraigned on a number of drug charges earlier in connection with a drug bust at the Lyndon Pindling International Airport. They have all pleaded not guilty to the charges. Meantime, the prosecutor stressed, among other things, that Sweeting was a serving police officer at the time of her arrest, noting that her actions are a serious breach of the public's trust, as she was stationed at the international airport and was found in an area where only security personnel would be found. He noted that Sweeting had possession of at least 2 of the drug packages, and even though she told police she had nothing on her, one of them dropped from under her skirt and another was found in her waist where her gun was supposed to be. The court also noted that the evidence against Sweeting is stronger than the evidence against her co-accused, who are now on bail, and as a result, Sweeting's motivation to flee the country may be greater. The court also noted that the judge in the lower court denied Sweeting bail on the grounds that she is a flight risk, that bail conditions would not suffice, and her trial is expected to take place within 6 months. In the end, the court reserved their decision to next Tuesday. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Now, Sweeting is facing up to 7 years in prison and a $250,000 fine if convicted. Well, 46 murders in the country is far too many. This according to President of Citizens for Justice, Bishop Walter Hanschel. During an interview with ZNS News this afternoon, Bishop Hanschel said that the recent trend of double murders in the country is a major concern and should not be taken lightly. When asked reasons why the Christian Council and the Citizens for Justice organizations have been silent on crime, Bishop Hanschel responded this way.
It is the view of Citizens for Justice that the murder situation in our country is totally out of control. And the Bahamas, whether we admit it or not, is in crisis mode. We are in a crisis, a very serious crisis, as it relates to murder and law and order. I cannot speak for the Christian Council, but Citizens for Justice has always been very outspoken against the crime that is destroying our country. And we will continue to do so until we see some transformation. The Christian Council has an agenda, and they are doing what they deem to be correct. I have a voice. I have an assignment. I speak on behalf of the disenfranchised and persons who feel marginalized and oppressed.
The first ever open MRI diagnostic imaging center in the country is finally open.
The new medical facility officially opened its doors last night during a soft launch at the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
Now, the Open MRI Center boasts a $1 million piece of equipment which examines everything from the brain to the ankles.
Chief Radiologist Dr. Tim Grennan says he's optimistic that this new piece of technology will now allow Bahamians to seek proper medical care right here at home, and told us just how this new piece of machinery works.
Important technology because it caters to 20% of patients who are claustrophobic, as well as patients that are too large for conventional scanners. If you're over about 250 pounds, getting in a conventional closed MRI is going to be rather difficult, whereas our scanner can accommodate patients up to 500 pounds. It's also less intimidating to pediatric patients because of its open design. Open, basically, any scanner that's not a tunnel is considered an open design. So I think, I guess you call it like a patient-friendly design, and it doesn't take any longer to do the study. Exams can take about 30 minutes to 35 minutes.
Now, business associate Burton Rogers says satisfying the medical needs of all Bahamians has been a major priority for him, and says he welcomes future business relationships.
From a business perspective, I found out that there were a lot of people just leaving the island looking for a machine similar to what we have here. So in conversations with Dr. Forbes, back and forth, and then, conversations with Dr. Grennan, who's a really good friend of mine, we just decided to come together and make it happen. Took a little while. A little longer than expected, but hopefully the general community, the general population is pleased by the quality of service.
Parliamentarians continued debate on the Homeowners Bill during last evening's session of the House of Assembly. Members had varying views on the potential impact the new legislation could have. Our Cyan Thompson takes a look.
In their contributions, parliamentarians address various issues impacting homeowners, from bank interest rates, homeowner laws being used internationally, the perils Bahamians face in qualifying for affordable home loans, court dates for mortgage matters, and contractors abusing single parents.
Economic times which are difficult are upon us, and I believe that more people will perhaps be in need of our covering.
Today, with the passing of this piece of legislation, homeowners will receive further protection from foreclosures that they so desperately need.
Laws have been enacted in most of the developed countries like the UK, Canada, Australia, and the US.
To assist them from being exposed to the willy-nilly attitude of some lending institutions.
Bahamian experience with banks in the Bahamas has been found wanting. The reluctance of banks to advance Bahamians money for investments in land and businesses is also suspect.
Many persons could never qualify to get any loan for a home. But that is their desire. That is every human being desires to have their own property. So you would find generally, I dare to say that in most of the houses that you see in these areas that I have mentioned, they are, number one mother in the house.
So when you got a case, you got a mortgage outstanding, you go to court, when do you get in for the first time? That is the question. But if I realize there have been some procedural rules that have been introduced or will be introduced, which would perhaps have some bearing.
I wonder whether the media, when they couch this story or these stories tomorrow, will they acknowledge that the little old Bahamas is on the same front as the major world leaders around the world?
The contractors' bill, that's a matter that has to be addressed, because too often, Mr. Speaker, we see parents' homes completed, the roof collapsing, the walls falling in, especially single parent. And in our situation, 67% of our births are to single parents.
The House of Assembly resumes Wednesday of next week when parliamentarians will begin the budget debate. For the ZNS Network News, I'm Cyan Thompson.
Coming up, we go hog wild in Andros. Find out why. Coming up.
One farm that could have done without the rain. How it's going to affect the schedule. Find out coming up.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis. MasterCard Latin America and the Caribbean has a new chief. The credit card company recently announced the appointment of Ray Merceron as the Vice President and Territory Head of the Western Caribbean, which includes Belize, Bermuda, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and Haiti. Merceron will oversee the expansion of MasterCards in the region. Mr. Merceron is a native of Haiti. Mega Resort Bahamar has found a casino partner for the resort, which is set to open at the end of 2014. At the G2E Asia 2013 trade show, Bahamar's CEO Sarkis Ismailian named Global Gaming Asset Management GGAM as its casino partner. The company has vast experience in the integrated resort market with over 100 years of collective experience. GGAM will operate a 100,000 square foot casino with over 1,500 slot machines and more than 150 table games. Once completed, the casino will be among the world's largest. Ismailian is hoping Bahamian gaming laws are amended to take advantage of many of the modern gaming options GGAM intends to bring to the property. And finally, Singapore's Shanghai Airport has been named the world's best airport for the fourth time in the 14 years. The announcement was made at the prestigious World Airport Awards in Geneva. The Southeast Asia hub beat out South Korea's Incheon Airport and Amsterdam Airport in the Netherlands. Evaluators voted based on 39 services and products, which included check-in arrivals, transfers, shopping, security, and immigration. Half of the world's top airports are in Asia. The newly updated LPIA did not make this year's top 100. And that's your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis.